Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Human as Fuck. Today we have Robbie A Taylor, the the mystical medicine man, and one of my favorite humans. I have to say.
Ah,
So I had the pleasure of meeting Robbie. I think it was about 3 years ago when I was helping one of my friends for the Cambo ceremony, and I'm pretty sure you're one of the participants from memory. So
yeah,
very cool.
that's exactly it.
Yeah, awesome. So I'll start off. So what are you currently doing for fun in your life?
For fun. Oh, well, I just recently taken a break from all the things I usually do for fun. At the moment, for fun, I probably read and study. I hang out with my friends. I like dancing a lot. Music's good. I suppose what I used to do for fun is I used to take a small amount of a psychedelic substance, blast music, and clean the house.
Sounds like fun. So what's the current
It is. It's the best way to clean. What was that, sorry?
What kind of music are you currently listening to?
Doof stuff. Like, I'm overdue for a festival, hey.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but you can just festival in your lounge room pretty good.
Yeah, it's funny actually. I was just went to go and get dinner before, and I bumped into one of my friends as somebody that just frequents the festivals, and I was like, "Oh my god!" Got super excited. It was like just the energy of people that are in that sort of vibe. When you catch up with them, it's like just reminds you and takes you back to those moments. That's pretty fucking cool. So tell me, like, what was life like for you growing up and stuff like that? Like, did you come from a really stereotypical kind of home? Were your parents like a little bit alternative, or?
Nah, my family straight edges. Hey, can we swear on this?
Absolutely.
I'll keep my swearing to a minimum.
Like,
they're straight edge as fuck, hey. Like, they're pretty, like, stereotypical, go to work every day, have a house, white picket fence, run-of-the-mill, average Joe sort of family. They're pretty awesome people.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're my dad's side's pretty alternative, oddly enough. Like, I don't spend a lot of time around them yet. Like, they're all pretty alternative.
Yeah.
Whereas my mum's side, they're pretty normal.
Yeah, nice.
Whatever normal is.
Yeah. And so, it was about 3 years ago that you were saying that you started out on this journey. So what happened 3 years ago to put you on this path? It was like, all these different seeing through the matrix, I guess you say, and like seeing this other version of reality.
Yeah, well, I suppose like back in the day, I used to be fairly heavily depressed, bad relationship with alcohol. Used to treat myself super shit. And I was ignorant enough to believe that the way I treating myself wasn't affecting those around me. And my friend sort of came to me one day and she burst out into tears and she just said, "I can't watch you do this to yourself anymore." So it was a bit of a rain check. And that's sort of when I sort of started the whole personal development, spiritual thing. I just started reading books. And I went to this spiritual expo one day where I met my Cambo practitioner, Yana. And the first time I talked to her, she just started talking about Mother Ayahuasca. And I had no idea what the hell she was talking about. I actually remember thinking to myself, this chick sounds sort of cracked, like, but she's pretty good looking, but so I'll just stand here and talk to her for a bit. Yeah. And so she added me on Facebook and all that sort of stuff. And then and it just kept on popping up on my newsfeed and little ads on the side. And I'm just like, this frog poison shit, like, what? I'm never going to do that. Like, vomiting into a bucket and shitting through an eye of a needle just doesn't sound like a good idea. But I did it anyway because, I don't know, I do shit like that. Everything's worth a shot. And I was like, yeah, this chick's pretty good looking. Who fucking knows? Yeah.
Was Cambo your first medicine that you sat with?
Yes, Cambo was the very first medicine I sat with.
Yeah, awesome.
And then from there, I because Yana takes people over to the jungle for ayahuasca, and that kicked off everything.
Yeah.
Ayahuasca was the first mind-altering substance I'd ever consumed. I didn't even smoke weed back then.
Wow.
Mm.
So it's definitely changed your world.
Like, yeah. Like, I had a pretty straight edge family, so I was a pretty straight edge dude.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how is your purpose unfolding right now in regards to all that kind of stuff? Like,
Oh,
doing,
fuck me.
like helping support other people with the medicine and stuff as well, yeah?
Yeah, and I just got called in a really big way. So I literally just put up a post literally a couple of days ago about my first time went over to Peru, and my shaman that held me through that the first time, and I sat with the second time I was over there, sent me a message literally just only a couple of days ago, and he was literally just asking for help because of how the COVID's affected him and his community. And I was just like, wow, that's heavy. And he gifted me with, so when you go over to Peru in the Shipibo tradition, what they do is they bless you with a song, which they call an Icaro or an Icaros.
Yeah.
I'm pretty shit with my pronunciations. Yeah, and he sent me 2 recordings that of songs that he was sung for me.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty big gift to gift someone like me. And I was just like, wow. And anyway, so literally, when you receive an Icaro, it's sort of like you want to sit up. The way you receive a blessing, the way you hold yourself, the way you posture yourself is everything. And when I first listened to the song, I was just like, how did I receive it? And I was laying down in my bed and just laying down. I was like, nah, we can do better than that. Like, this is a pretty special gift. Like, my Spanish is shit. I don't speak the native tongue. So he sent me 3 videos. No idea what the first one was about, but I just went with it. And it was funny because I literally just said to my mentor, I'm like, nah, no psychedelics for the whole week. I'm just going to ground out and think. But then when I usually receive a blessing, I'm usually in my whites. I sit up. I pay attention, and I'm usually under the influence of DMT in the ayahuasca. So I went in again. And it was the message I received was unlike any other thing. I literally felt all the fear in my mind dissolve, and and then the shaman sent me messages asking me for his help to help raise money so he can feed his village. And I was just like, fuck, yeah, all right. So literally that's sort of what I never usually charge money for my harpe services. Like, if you've ever asked me to serve your harpe, I will serve you. But now I'm going to start asking, and I'm going to donate all proceeds to his village. So I suppose that's what I've been called to do now.
That's incredible. So, what's my next question? So what's something that you felt like you failed at, but it turned out to be a success?
A lot of things. Several of nearly every relationship I've ever had. A lot of friendships. What else have I fucked up? I fucked up a couple of my trips lately. I broke the rules, and yeah, I play with dangerous things, and I was being fairly reckless, if I'm being honest with myself.
So what rules did
And what rules did I break? What rules did I break? I went in from a place of ego and not a place of heart. I didn't hold myself. I'm usually pretty good with my intentions. And I used to enter into any psychedelic experience like I always enter in ayahuasca. But just lately I've been getting a little bit slack with my processes. And yeah, I got my ass handed to me for it. That was the Bart Simpson curling on the floor trip. That was pretty intense. I've actually failed at being an entrepreneur many times, but I'm going to give that another crack because I'll probably nail it this time. But no attachment to the outcome, but we'll see.
Okay, so my next question is, what are some of the challenges that you think the next generation are going to face?
Fear. And being able to overcome it. Because the world's in a pretty big predicament right now.
Yeah. Very good point. And
we're going to have, and a lot of the people that are our age are sort of going to have to like shape the new world. Because this one's collapsing.
And how does that make you feel?
Oh, I'm actually pretty excited. But yeah, it's scary though. I am scared. But I don't know, like I've spent the past 3 years of my life in survival. I got pretty good at it. I'm already doing what I love. So to me, it's just an even bigger call for me to now step up and do what I love, because that's what the world needs right now.
So what does that look like for you right now? Like if you're stepping up and doing more of what it is that you love doing, like what does that look like in your life?
That's why I'm doing this thing, because I can't hide anymore. I gotta be seen and do all the things. I resist this stuff so much, hey?
Yeah, you do. And it's funny as well, because like I said right from the start, you're probably one of my favourite humans. And I really just think that, you know, if more people were to get to have a taste of you or a taste of like what it is that you can give people the experience of, the world would definitely be a better place.
Oh, thanks. Because you're probably one of my oldest new friends. Like, you actually know what I was like at the start.
Yeah. It's such an honor to watch that journey as well, and just how that's all unfolding all the time as well. So just on the topic of things that you do in your day-to-day life, so what are 3 habits that you do to improve your life on a day-to-day basis?
3 things I do on a day-to-day basis. The first thing I do is I make my bed. It fucking works. Make your bed.
I like that. That's a good.
Yeah, man. Because then even if I like have a poopy day, like I don't know, I have a pretty cool room. It's a pretty cool space. It's about time I created something nice for myself. I did pretty good this time.
And are you still in the nowhere, or are you back in civilization, so to speak?
Oh yeah, I moved out of the commune. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm back in I'm back on the grid. I lived 7 months off the grid.
Yeah.
And holy shit, that was an experience. Man, like I'm happy being on the grid, like electricity, water, hot water, it's the shit. Yeah.
It's funny, actually, I've had quite a few people that have said to me recently that they're planning on going off grid, and that they're like, you know, are you coming with me, man, kind of thing. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of like my creature comforts, to be honest with you. I'm like kind of content being here and like having the easiness. I mean, I'm not planning on downloading apps anytime soon or get a needle, but you know, we'll see how that goes.
It requires a lot of work and a lot of commitment. A lot of people think they can just live off grid and do nothing. It's not like that. Yeah. But probably the second thing I do is showers, man. Showers are the bomb. I'm a water sign, but yeah, every day. Sometimes I shower twice. It just refreshes. And I eat. That's all you gotta do. Make your bed, have showers, and eat food. And you're laughing.
Sorry, I do have a child in the background that's not having the best day. I do apologise.
It's all good. Oh yeah, okay. I see what's happening. Yeah, what else do I do? I don't know. I've been going through a very transformative process lately. So a lot of my old processes I've thrown out because I was really shit at loving myself. So I'm re-implementing a lot of things that are now beneficial for my being. I'm just still sort of sorting it all out. That's probably why it's really simple. Make my bed, shower, eat food.
I love it though, because it's like not a basic kind of thing that people don't do. Like I have to admit, I don't make my bed every day.
Yeah, well, I never used to. I used to just get in it the way I left it. But another thing I'm trying to do is just get real good at the little things. So then, I don't know, if you nail the little things, the big things are a lot easier to accomplish. Family life for the win. Now, uh-oh, what is this? I'm good. I'll just talk to myself for a bit. I do that all day anyway.
Okay, I think we have the problem
Turns
solved.
out most people that think, some people actually don't think in voices.
What was that? Sorry.
I was just rambling.
I love it, love it, love it. Thank you for that. Sorry, I've got two young ones in the background that are deciding to fight with each other this evening. So fun things of being a parent, hey? But yeah, so if you could change one thing right now, what would that be?
Change one thing. I don't think there's anything I would change in my life right now. I'm exactly in the place I need to be to do what I need to do. Like, for the first time yesterday, you know how like those times where like you just cry because you're so happy? I literally did that twice in one day for the first time in my entire life yesterday. It was pretty fucking cool. So, yeah, I don't think I'd change anything.
Yeah. So what were the things that happened to make you be in that state of bliss like that? Was it just
So I'm a bit of a psychonaut. And I was probably like by far the biggest journey I've ever done. And I didn't know it was going to be the biggest journey I've ever done. I'm not good at making plans, so I don't bother making them. I just sort of just do one little bit at a time and then I just keep going. So this one was a 15 to 20 gram psilocybin journey. It was pretty big. It's cool, man. It was cool. Like, I do some cool shit on psychedelics. The way psychedelics affect your brain, it's pretty interesting. It becomes more efficient. So I can take a high amount of psychedelics and still be very present and have a high amount of body function just because my brain is so used to being overwhelmed with being lit up like a Christmas tree.
yeah.
So I've actually created my very first harpe on that experience, which was really cool, and it's really good. It's really good.
So
And then after I did some cool shit, what was that?
How do you find integration after you had those experiences, or is that just part of the norm now as well?
Well, if you do it, I do a lot. You've got to get real good at integrating, hey. And the best way I've found to integrate is to not judge your experiences. It's just to accept them and you can learn from everything. I don't believe in good or bad or right or wrong or anything like that because it's all just experience and you can learn from all of them.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the things that medicine.
And this was one of those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. So if you could have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, if they were to still be alive, of course, we're not talking zombie shit here, who would that be?
My grandma.
Yeah, beautiful.
Actually, no. Probably my grandma on my dad's side, because I actually never met her. She died just before I was born. So I never got to meet her. That'd be pretty cool.
Awesome. And so it would just be the thing of connecting with her that you'd like to be able to have the experience of her?
Because my dad's side's the alternative side of the family. So that's the Taylor gene. And I'd just be really curious to just see who she was as a person. Because, I don't know, stuff gets carried on in your DNA. Like, when you die, the only legacy you leave behind is your DNA. Everything's in there. Your trauma, your experiences, the lessons you've learned, it all gets passed down in there.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I'd be curious to see what type of person she was.
Have you ever done a journey where you set the intention to meet her, or that's not part of what you do when you...
I'm a bit weird with my intentions. I never really have an intention. I usually just go in because the medicines are way more intelligent than I can ever be. And you always get what you need and not what you want anyway.
Absolutely.
So it's sort of just like, I just always go in with the intention of completely surrendering to the process.
Yeah.
And what happens.
Fantastic.
But for a medicine that a lot of people use for like that sort of ancestral communication is iboga.
Oh, right. Have you sat with that?
Not yet.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who sat with that one, and actually 2 friends of mine who have sat with that, and I feel like that's probably a little bit further along than what I am personally.
Yeah, there's a lot of contraindications that go along with boga, so it's not something you want to like sit with lightly.
And it lasts for a really long time as well, like days or something. Is that correct?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah, that's full on.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah, so can you describe yourself in 5 words?
I can do it in like less than 5 words. Not sure if I can do it in 5.
Give us more.
We'll go super chill. I don't take many things seriously, but the things I do take seriously, yeah, I super serious.
So what kind of things?
Super chill. What was that? Sorry, cut out.
Your attention in regards to things that are worth being serious about right now?
I missed that again.
Sorry, is there anything that's catching your eye or your attention right now that's worth being serious about?
Yeah, and it's funny because I've just been sort of pushing this whole COVID thing outside of my awareness. Like, I'm in the love vibe. I'm a 30-year-old male with a 0.02% chance of dying whether I catch this virus. And that statistic is based of people that perceive Coke with no sugar as healthy. Like, I have no reason to fear this at all. So I just sort of carried on with my life as per normal. But then I forget that I'm a pretty privileged dude. I'm an Australian that lives in Australia, and that not everyone's as privileged as me. Yeah. And then I've had a lot of humbling experiences lately. And yeah, I suppose I sort of just want to do as much as I can to help the people that aren't so privileged.
Yeah.
That are still suffering.
Yeah. What does that look like for you right now?
Being the best me I can.
Yeah.
Doing what I'm good at. Because I am actually pretty fucking good at it. I just didn't believe I was.
What is that thing that you're good at? What is your superpower?
Holding space and making people feel safe.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Just trying to look through my questions to see what questions I haven't asked you yet. What
And I
fictional?
sort of half-assed answered some of them. I can go back to those ones.
That's okay. So what fictional character do you resonate with?
Depends on your definition of fiction. My ego really loves it when my roommate, she's a pagan witch,
Yeah.
and she refers me to Pan a lot.
Nice.
And Pan is the god of I think a god of sex. And I'm like, yeah, I'll tell you that.
That's awesome. So would you prefer to be a dragon or own one?
A dragon or a what?
Would you prefer to be a dragon or own one?
Prefer to be one.
Is there a reason for that?
They can fly.
That's a pretty
Duh.
good dragon. What is something that you do that others might consider weird?
My whole life. My whole way of being. No one does the things I do. No one in their right mind would do the shit that I do. But yeah.
Right mind's not related probably at the same time, just slightly.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, so if you had 1 minute to share your message with the world, what would that look like? Like, what would you be saying to people?
That it's okay to not be okay. That all things will pass. And, well, I believe there's always a light at the other side of the tunnel. Actually, it doesn't even matter if there is any light, because darkness is pretty fucking cool too.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. Totally agree with you. So what makes you laugh right now? Like, what things are making you giggle, having fun?
Oh, myself. I laugh at myself all the time.
So is there anything that you've caught yourself doing recently that you've kind of been like?
Oh, well, that I've literally. Can you say that again? Sorry, it cut out at the end.
Anything that you've caught yourself doing, like, you know, for example, you just kind of doing your thing, and then you know you're doing something, and you're like, what the fuck? So it's like, you know how we get into the autopilot. Is there anything that you've kind of caught yourself out doing and been like?
I was half tempted to like maybe light the curtain on fire the other day, but I thought that was a bad idea. So I ended up biting the head off my lighter just so I made sure that that didn't happen.
That sounds like
being an observer while you're on psychedelics is a really good fucking thing to do.
Absolutely.
Like, I'm not that dude that takes acid on a high-rise building, thinks he can fly, and just jumps off the fucking balcony. Thank fuck I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Because I do some dangerous shit.
Yeah, gosh. Well, I'm glad you're not that guy as well, because otherwise we wouldn't be able to do this right now, and you've still got a lot to do.
Yeah.
Sharing your message and your mission in the world. So, is there anything that I haven't asked yet that would be useful too?
Can you repeat that again too?
Is there anything that I haven't asked that would be useful too?
Nah, your questions are pretty cool.
Okay.
The only thing I probably have left to add is that what I said at the start. I've actually made a GoFundMe for my shaman in his village. I'll probably post that on my page if anyone wants to donate.
Yeah.
I'll actually serve I'm actually donating all the proceeds from Harpe, and I'm actually going to serve the Harpe I crafted on my psilocybin journey, which is called All Teachers Present.
Yeah, nice.
If you like Harpe, you gotta try this out. Like, I'm good at what I fucking do, and it's pretty freaking good. I'm giving myself full credit for that one. I nailed it.
Yeah, Harpe can be quite intense. I've had it a few different times, and I have to say each time the journey has been so completely and totally different. But yeah,
this one is super smooth, super smooth.
It's definitely going to hit you up about that one. But yeah, so we'll post that link on the page as well, just to make sure that anyone who's interested can actually help to contribute to that as well. Because I mean, obviously our shamans are very, very important in this world and very sacred to preserve the ancient knowledge and wisdom that they do have, and we're lucky that they share with us as well.
Yeah, and for someone like me who's received so much from like the wisdom of the plants, if anyone is in the same boat as me, like the jungle literally fucking called me on my phone. I was like, "Yo, dickhead, help me."
Yeah. So what would you say? Actually, I've got a question to ask you. So what would you say to anyone who's contemplating trying any of these plant medicines or any psychedelics or any of those kind of things for therapeutic reasons, or just out of curiosity? What would you say to them right now that are on the edge of
if you feel the call to do it, and because usually the call is when you hear people talk about psychedelics and you're like, fuck that. That's not it. Yeah, that's good. But when you hear people talk about ayahuasca or a plant medicine, and you feel a pull to that, and it's something that continually dwells in your mind or continually comes into your awareness, then that is a really good sign for you to sit. And it's a bit intimidating, it's a bit scary, and it takes a lot for people to lean into that. But I encourage you to do that, because you will not regret it. And it will be the most life-changing choice you've ever made in your entire life, to sit with a medicine.
Absolutely. It's so beautiful. So yeah, I feel like that kind of feels kind of complete for this moment, and
that feels pretty good.
Yeah, so thank you so much for sharing, and just a little bit, so how else can people follow you besides the whole thing of like the links that you're going to share on the page and all that kind of stuff? Like, how can people find you? For those who are in who are wanting to try out this Harpe that you think,
Yeah, so best way, like my Facebook is completely open. Like anyone can message me or post on my wall. My Facebook name's Robbie A Taylor. I'm pretty sure I'm the first person that pops up. Just reach out to me on Messenger. If you want to inquire about more information about the medicines, please just say that in your message, and I'll get in contact with you through an encryption app.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right, well, thank you so much, Robbie. I'm so grateful that you're open to doing this. It was like I just tune in every single week, and I'm like, yeah, Robbie, we need Robbie on right now. So just
cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me on. Hey.
You're so welcome. Hey. But yeah, so I'll leave it there. But I'll love you and leave you. And thanks again, everyone, for who has watched or who is going to be watching. And thanks again, Robbie. And I'll talk with you soon about getting my hands on some of that Harpe.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.